Hi guys, and welcome back to Aisha's Academy, and in today's video I'll be going through the number and ratio calculator series for the Foundation 2021 assessment material and GCSE level. So let's get right into it. So first question says write the correct number in the box. The box is not there, but hypothetically speaking the box would be there. So because it's a calculator question, which is really nice, all you need to put into your calculator is 100 take away 56.3, and that should leave you with an answer of 43.7. Then for the second one, we've got again, I'm going to rewrite it so it's clearer. But essentially, it's 2 over 7 plus a box is equal to 1. So again, you'd work backwards. So 1 minus 2 over 7. So if you struggle to put that in your calculator, another way of working it out is 1 can be written as 7 over 7 as a fraction, as that's also a whole. Take away 2 over 7. Then remember, whenever you take away fractions, you only take away the numerators from each other. You don't touch the denominators. So I'll leave you with an answer of 5 over 7. Then it says write 4 out of 50 as a percentage. So when it comes to converting fractions to percentages, you always multiply the fractions by 100. So fractions times 100 equals percentage. So if you did that, because it's a nice calculator paper, you can just put into your calculator 4 over 50 times 100, and you'll be left with 8. So it's 8%. Then it says work out the value 3 to the power of 5. So literally you would put into your calculator 3 to the power of 5, and that would leave you with an answer of 243. Okay, and then next you've got 4a. So it says change 35 centimeters to millimeters. So to go from centimeters to millimeters, you times by 10. So if that's the case, for 35 centimeters, times 35 by 10 in your calculator, that would give you 350. And then to go from millimeters to liters, you divide by 1,000. So then you would do 7,700 divided by 1,000, and that would leave you with 7.7 liters. And then part C, you're going from kilograms to grams, which would be times 1,000. So then 0.32 times 1,000 would leave you with 320 grams. And that's that answer. Okay, moving on to question 5. So it's given us 4 fractions, and it wants us to write these fractions in order of size. So I think we did see this one in the higher paper, I believe. So I'm just going to write them out again so they're nice and spaced out. Okay, so the best way to compare fractions is to make sure they have the same common denominator. So what we're going to do is we're going to change them all to have 30, since they all have 30 as a common factor. So the 11 out of 30 is not going to change. So the first one that we're going to change is the 2 out of 5. So because we know 5 times 6 would be 30, we're going to times both top and bottom by 6, and that's going to change the fraction to 12 out of 30. And then a half, if you times both top and bottom by 15, that would leave you with 15 out of 30. And with the 7 out of 15, if you times both top and bottom by 2. So I'll leave you with 14 out of 30. Okay, so then now that you've got them with the same common denominator, now we can really compare which one's the smallest, which one's the largest. So we can see that the 11 out of 30 is the smallest. And because we didn't need to change it, that's how we're going to write it down. Then the next smallest one is the 12 out of 30, but it's originally 2/5. So we're going to write it as 2/5. So always write it as what you originally found it as, not what you converted it to. Then the next one that we would write is the 14 out of 30, but it's actually 7 out of 15. Then the last one is the 15 out of 30, which was actually a half. And that would be your final answer. Then moving on to question 6, you've got Masin, Yusuf, and Luke are going to play a game, and at the end of the game, one of them will be in first place. So one of them will be in second place, and one of them will be in third place. And it wants us to use the table below to list all the possible outcomes. So in this scenario, you literally have to do as they say. You need to list all the possible outcomes. So I'm going to use M, Y, and L as abbreviations. So let's say if you have Muslim first, Yusuf second, Luke third, or you can have Muslim first, Luke second, Yusuf third. You can have Yusuf first, second, Luke third, and then you can have the other way around. Oh, you cannot have a repeat of his name. And then you can have Luke. Let me just draw the lines down because I know it was split for some odd reason when downloaded. You can have Luke first, Yusuf second, Muslim third, and then Luke first, and second, Yusuf third. And they are all our different combinations. Yes, so to know that you've used all the different combinations, always double check if there are 2 letters each in each column. So we've got 2 M's here, 2 M's here, 2 M's here, 2 Y's there, 2 Y's there, 2 Y's there, and same with the L's. Yeah, and that's basically that question. So we've listed all the possible outcomes, which is literally all they wanted you to do. Okay, then it goes on to question 7, which says write 4 out of 5. So write 4/5 of a number. No, it says 4/5 of a number is 32, and it wants us to find what the number is. So in this case, we're actually working backwards. So 4/5 is equal to 32. So we can work out what 1/5 is by dividing by 4. And that would leave us with 8. So to work out what 5 out of 5 is, aka a whole, 1/5, we would multiply that by 5, and that would leave us with 40. So we know the original number is 40. So I always go, whenever it comes to comparing things, I always work out what one of it is and then multiply it by how much I'm trying to get to. Then Suha is going to buy 150 envelopes. So here's some information about the cost of the envelopes in 2 shops. Again, it came out printed weirdly, but we're just going to focus on the information here. So it shows that if she goes to Letter World, she can send off 25 envelopes for $3.49, a pack of 25. Or if she goes to Stationery World, it says that a pack of 10 envelopes are £2.10, but if you buy 2 packs, you get 1 free. So she wants to buy, sorry, not sell, she wants to buy envelopes as cheaply as possible. So which shop should you buy the 150 envelopes from? Well, we need to compare. So first of all, let's look at the comparison between her buying it from Letter to Send. So 150 divided by 25 in your calculator will tell you how many packs you need to buy how much you need. So that would give you an answer of 6. So we need 6 packs. Because 6 packs makes up 150 envelopes. So because if 1 pack is £3.49, to work out the price of 6 packs, you need to do 6 times 3.49. 6 times 3.49, which is 20.94. Okay, so we know that's how much it costs for letters to send. And then for Stationery World, she buys 2 packs of 10. Well, no, she doesn't. We need to work out how many packs of 10 we need for 150 envelopes. So we do 150 divided by 10, which is 15. But the special thing is here, every 2 packs you get 1 free. So essentially 30 envelopes are equal to envelopes is equal to the price of 2 packs. So aka 3 packs is equal to the price of 2, which is 2.10 times 2, and which is £4.20. So we actually need to do 150 divided by 30, and that would leave you with an answer of 5. So then if you do the £4.20 times 5, you end up with an answer of £21. So as we can see, only by a slight margin, to be fair, the cheapest one is letters to send. Okay, so moving on to question 9, it says the table shows a cricket club's income in 2016 from um, whatever, a quiz and membership fees, and then it says express as a ratio the income from the FET, yeah, that thing, to the income from the quiz to the income from membership fees. Then it says give your ratio in the simplest form. So the first ratio it wants us to do is income from the FE. Oh, is it one of those silent T's? The FE to the quiz. So F to Q. So, and then it wants us to do from Q to M. That's what I'm abbreviating them as. So as you can see, the income at the FE is 250, and for the quiz, entry fees there were 13 at £5 each. So if you put into your calculator 13 times 5, that equals 65, which tells you your income from the quiz. And then from the quiz, you also had refreshments as well. Rightio. So then the 65 add the 35 equals 100. So then that's actually 100. And then for the quiz to the membership, so we already know what the quiz is. But then for the membership, so 25 times 20 in your calculator would give you 500. So then now to simplify these ratios, so let's look at the F to Q. So that's a 250 to 100 ratio. So if you divide both sides by 25, you end up with 10 to 4, and that can also be divided by 2 to give you 5 to 2. And then with the Q to M, you've got 100 to 500. Make sure you cancel the zeros. You've got a 1 to 5 ratio. So now to put them all together as one ratio, we've got 5 to 2, and then we've got 1 to 5. So the Q's need to be the same. So we're going to multiply this ratio by 2. So then that's going to leave us with 5 to 2, and then we've got 2 to 10. So then if we combine them together, that would be 5 to 2 to 10 for the F, the Q, the M. I like that rhymes. And yeah, that's that final answer. And then having a look at question 10, it says Adam gets a bonus of 30% of £80. Katie gets a bonus of 20%. It says work out the difference between the bonus that Adam gets and Katie gets. So first of all, to work out 30% of £80, there's two ways. You could just do 80 times 0.3, or you could do the 80 divided by 100 times by 30. And either way, you would be left with an answer of £24. And then it says Katie gets £28. So the difference is 28 that Katie gets minus 24 that Adam gets, which is a £4 difference. Because difference means subtract. Okay. And then moving on to question 11, it says Andy went on holiday to Canada. His flights cost a total of £1,500 and he stayed for 14 nights. His hotel room cost $196 per night, and Andy used the Wi-Fi for 12 days. The Wi-Fi cost $5. It's given us the exchange rate and it wants us to work out the total of his flights, the hotel room, and the Wi-Fi in pounds. So let's really break this down. So first of all, with the flights, that's already given in pounds, so we don't need to convert anything. Then with the hotel room, it's in dollars. So let's work out the total in dollars first. So it's 196 a night, and he stayed for 14 nights. So times that by 14, that would leave you with an answer of $2,744. And then the Wi-Fi again was in dollars. So then that was $5 per night, so 5, and then for 12 days, so 5 times 12, which was $60. So then add the 2,744 plus the 60, you end up with $2,804. Then we can just convert that into pounds. So to go from dollars to pounds, you would need to divide by 1.90. So how I know that is, so you've got the dollars, you got the pounds. So for instance, to go from 1 to 1.9, you would times. So then to know the other way, you divide. So whatever you do one way, you divide. So if you multiply one way, you divide the other way. That's basically how it works. So then if you now put that into your calculator to 2 decimal places, because we're dealing with money, it would be in pounds 1,475.79. Then if we just add that onto the flights, you would be left with an answer of 2,975.79. Okay, and that's that question. Then it goes on to say, if there were fewer dollars to pounds, would this have affected Adam's total cost? So let's say if it was for every £1, it was $1, which would never happen, but hypothetically speaking, then really and truly, it would have costed a total of £2,804. We wouldn't need to convert it if they were the same. And notice how 2,804 is way bigger than the 1,475.79. So if the dollars was fewer, it would have costed him more in pounds. Okay, and then going on to question 12, it says Remy invests £600 for 5 years in a savings account. So it says by the end of the 5 years, he has received a total of £75 simple interest. And it wants us to work out the annual rate of simple interest. So we have to work backwards essentially. So if he's invested £600 for 5 years, simple interest usually is the same amount added each time. So it's not like compound interest where if it was compound interest over 5 years, it would be the rate, which I'm going to put R to the power of 5, and then that would give you an amount. But with simple interest, it would be 600 plus our rate. So the rate times 5 for 5 years. So that would give you a total of the 75 plus the 600, which is 675. So we're just going to work backwards to work out what the rate is. So the rate times 5, because it's over 5 years, gives you £75. So to work out what the actual amount, sorry, not the rate. I'm just going to call it X for now. So to work out X amount, so the X amount earned each year, you would do 75 divided by 5, which would be £15. So Remy got an extra 15 each year. So then to work out what the rate is, we would have to do 15 over 600 times 100 to work that out as a percentage. So again, because it's a calculated paper, you could just work that out in your calculator. And that would leave you with an answer of 2.5%. Okay, and then moving on to question 13. So it says write 7,357 to the correct 3 significant figures. So 3 significant figures means that you have 3 numbers in total. So then we would round that up to 7,360. And you have 3 actual numbers in total. So that is that to 3 significant figures. So yes, there's that. Then it says work out the root of 17 plus 4 squared over 7.3 squared. write all the figures on your calculator space. So you literally just need to put this into your calculator and write what comes out to the T. So if you did that, 0.1107981,356. Oh, sorry, it's 1077. Okay, so yeah, if it says write all the figures, you just write all the figures. And then question 14, Emily buys a pack of 12 bottles of water. The pack costs £5.64. And it says that she sells all 12 bottles for 50p each, so we have to work out her percentage profit. So, first things first, to work out how much she gains, it's going to be 12 times 50p, 0.5, which is £6. So that's how much she makes. So to work out her profit, we're going to do 6, take away 5.64 over 5.64, because that was her original value, times by 100. So to always work out percentage change, it's your new value, take away your old value, over your old value, aka original value, times 100. So old or original. And that would leave you with an answer of 6.4 to 1 decimal place percent. Then question 15 says you have A, B, C that are in points on a map, and it says 1 centimeter represents 100 meters, and it says point T is 250 meters from point A. It says point T is equidistant, so imagine it's about there. Again, that's not drawn to scale, so this is roughly equal distance from B and C, and then it was 205 meters. And it says on the map, show it shows one of the possible positions. So there are many possible positions of T. For instance, T could be here, because then that's essentially still equal distance between them. It really could be anywhere. So I've just drawn it there for now. And because it says it's 1 centimeter, 1 centimeters is 100 meters. To work out 200 meters in centimeters, I'll divide it by 100, and that would leave me with an answer of 2.5 centimeters. So I can change that. Okay. And that is one of my possible solutions. So I'm going to leave it there. Okay. Then it says write 4.7 times 10 to the minus 1 as an ordinary number. So this is all about standard form. So as an ordinary number, move back only 1 decimal places because it's to the minus 1. So that would be 0.47. Then this time we're multiplying standard forms and we're leaving our answer in standard form. So really and truly, you could actually put this all into your calculator. You can put this all into your calculator, it's a calculator paper. And so that would leave you with an answer of 2.28 times 10 to the power of 9. Okay, so moving on to question 17, it says find the lowest common multiple of 40 and 56. So we'd have to work out the prime factors. So 40 can be split into 8 and 5, circle the prime factors. 8 can be split into 2 and 4, and then 4 can be split into 2 and 2. And then 56, you've got 7 and 8. 7's a prime factor. 8 again split into 2 and 4, and then 2 and 2. Then draw a quick Venn diagram of 40 and 56. The numbers that they have in common go in the middle, so they both have 3 2's. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the 3 2's go in the middle, and then 40 has an extra 5, and then 56 has an extra 7. So then the common multiple is where you multiply all the numbers together. So it'll be 5 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. And into your calculator, so 8, I'm just going to work out quickly manually. So 8 times 9, 40, 40 times 7. So that would give you an answer of 280, which again, you could just put into your calculator since it's a calculator paper. Then it says Write down the highest common factor between A and B. Okay, so let's look at what they have in common. So 2 cubed is the same as saying 2 times 2 times 2, and 2 squared is the same as saying that, and 5 squared is the same as saying 5 times 5. All right, so let's draw a quick Venn diagram between A and B. Let's look at what they have in common. Well, they both have 2 2s. They both have a 3. And they both have a 5. But B has an extra 5. And A has an extra 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Did I just write a B? Should be a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so highest common factor just focuses on the numbers in the middle. So that'll be 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. So again, into your calculator, that would leave you an answer of 60. Okay, let's move on. So then there's question 8. So Andy cycles a distance of 30 kilometers at an average speed of 24 kilometers per hour. He then runs a distance of 12 kilometers at an average speed of 8 kilometers per hour. So we need to work out his total time. So we're going to work out his total time for the first leg. So I'm going to quickly draw the triangle of speed equals distance over time. So to work out time, we would end up doing distance divided by speed. Okay, so for the first part of his race, so his distance is 30 kilometers and his speed is 24. So 30 divided by 24 will leave you with an answer of 1.25, and this time is in hours. I won't convert them yet. And then the second leg, it would be 12 divided by 8, which would leave you with an answer of 1.5 hours. So then if we add up his total hours, that is 1.25 times add 1.5, which will leave you with 2.75 hours. And then to write that fully in minutes, if you do 2 hours, the 2 part of the hours is fine. So that will be 2 hours, but we need to work out the minutes. So then to work out the minutes, you need to do 0.75 times 60 in your calculator. That should give you 45 minutes. So it will be 2 hours and 45 minutes. And then the last question is question 19, which is a number m is rounded to 1 decimal place, and it says the result is 9.4. So complete the error interval of m. So then, quickly having a look. So your error interval would be the range. So what I always do is, it would be, in this case, add a 5 to the end of it, and then take away 0.05 from 0. So if you have 9.4, take away 0.05 in your calculator and you're left with 9.35. So then it will be where did I get 2 from? It would be 9.35 and then m. So 9.35 could be equal to or less than m, and then m could be, m is less than 9.45, but remember it can't be equal to it, which they've already written the signs for you, because if it's equal to the 0.5, that means it could be rounded up to 9.5, which it was not. So that would be the error interval. Oh, I forgot the 5. And I hope that made sense. Hope that was useful, and thank you for watching.